Okay, so I'm super excited to share these turmeric culinary recipes with you. Turmeric is, again, it's just such an amazing spice, and it's so good to get it into your food. And the thing about turmeric is that it's antioxidant. And so we are going to make, you can't really talk about turmeric without making a curry blend. And so, yeah, it's good to get turmeric in your food. The thing about turmeric is it has the ability to quench free radicals. And what, may you ask, are free radicals? I mean, you probably already know, but it's, basically they're cells, they're chemicals, they're cells in your body that float around your body looking to cause damage to tissue. And the free radicals, they can cause, basically mutation in your DNA, and that's not good if you want to prevent cancer. And so basically the free radicals, they're a reactive molecule that are missing an electron from the outer ring or shell. And what happens is they go around and they steal electrons from other molecules, and then those molecules run around imbalance, and then they just basically, it creates like a chain reaction, right? And this destabilization of the cell, it happens through like stress, pesticides, chemical pollution, bad fats, chlorine. Did I say stress? So this oxidative stress, what happens is, again, it pulls this electron off of a cell and destabilizes it, and it leads to these reactions in the body. There's something called the oxygen radical absorbance capacity, and it's an ORAC score. And what it does is it measures the antioxidant level of different constituents and foods. And just so happens that turmeric has a high ORAC score. And so those, the ingredients found to have high ORAC scores are best able to eliminate, the free radical, which the body, the body naturally produces just by stress. So we don't just have to be exposed to chemicals, but that accelerates. So again, turmeric, super high antioxidant rich herb that helps to prevent all this and getting it into your food. We think of turmeric as cell protective, and it inhibits damage to the cells in our body. It's cell protective, and it's a free radical scavenger. Getting a good curry blend into your food, it's actually anti-aging. It's considered an anti-aging spice, right? Yes, you can take this basic curry recipe and totally change it. And if you look at curry jars and bottles and curry recipes, basically they're all different. So there's no one way to make curry, but curries contain turmeric. Every curry I've ever seen contains turmeric. So let's go ahead and make, and again, just feel free to start with this curry and just take it wherever you want to take it. But again, we're going to be making a super antioxidant, healing, carminative, anti-inflammatory spice that you can put a little into your food and your meals. Okay, so we're going to start with coriander, and I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of coriander. And again, coriander is like kind of one of those neutral, it's slightly sweet. I like coriander a lot. And then we're going to take our beloved turmeric, and we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of turmeric. Here we go. My hands are definitely yellow at this point. All right, so we've got our turmeric and our coriander. Okay, now I love cumin. Coriander, cumin, turmeric. It's just such a great combination. So we've got 2 tablespoons of our turmeric. No, this isn't turmeric. This is cumin, but we have 3 tablespoons of coriander, 2 tablespoons of turmeric, 2 tablespoons of cumin. Okay, from there, we're gonna add some mustard seed. I like mustard. Mustard seed is it's a great circulatory stimulant, digestive aid that just adds a little kick. So we're gonna put 2 teaspoons of mustard, and we're going to put a teaspoon of fenugreek. Fenugreek is also another amazing carminative that adds it's kind of like adds a sweetness. It's what makes curry smell slight and taste slightly sweet. It's not that when you taste this it's sweet, but when it's mixed with all the other spices, it's really, so we're going to put in a teaspoon of fenugreek. And this is the seed. Fenugreek is a seed. Teaspoon of fenugreek, and now we're gonna add our spice. So you can, go wherever you want with this. You can make it spicier if you like. But I'm just gonna put in my half a teaspoon of ginger, and then we're gonna put in a 1/4 teaspoon of clove and a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. So again, a lot of people like more cayenne in their curry, but it's like my family's already really hot. I got a lot of so we'll put in a little bit of clove. There we go. All right, so there you go. That was so simple, right? And you're gonna take all those herbs and just shake them up. And you've got your curry blend for putting in your soup, for putting in your salad dressing, for sauteing your vegetables in. And yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. Very nice, I must say so. Yeah, so, some people just like plain turmeric. I like turmeric, but I love adding the other spices to it. So there's our curry blend. Now we're going to turn this curry blend into some medicine, and I mean cold medicine. And what we're going to make next is we're going to make some curried onions. Now, this remedy, it may not be for you. It's hot. It's really hot. These onions, when you start cooking these onions, it's like blowout time, right? So if you're menopausal and you're already hot, or the top of your head turns hot when you eat garlic or onions, or your nose and face turn red when if it's too hot for you, it's not your remedy, okay? But if it's your remedy, it can blow out a cold. And especially if you develop that eagle eye and you take your curried onions, eat a little bit of curried onions before anything even starts, you don't even need the syrups. You don't need the teas. You won't even need all the herbal remedies we've been looking at. If this is a good remedy for you, then if you get this if you make some curried onions at the very onset of a cold, it's like the cold just disappears. We are going to make curried onions, and this is a good one. And so I learned this recipe from Rosemary Gladstar, I think maybe like around 30 years ago, and it's a variation of this recipe. And it's really in the hundreds of people that it's helped just stop a cold in its tracks. And it's like, you're getting a cold, and then you're not. And when people say that, they're like, I was getting a cold and then I didn't get it. That is such an amazing experience. And again, what's it worth to stop even one cold? Especially if that cold might end up with somebody that's elderly or young, right? That's really susceptible. Colds, we're contagious. We spread colds. Stopping one cold, you don't know the impact, what the potential impact is of stopping even one cold, right? All right, so let's make our curried onions. My stove is on high. I've got right around 2 cups of diced onions, right? So I'm using yellow or white onions, and onions themselves are incredibly antimicrobial and decongestant. And what happens when you cut up an onion, right? It's like, you start crying, all your fluids. It's a diaphoretic, it's a diuretic. It's like, get that stuff out. And this is one of the remedies from my great grandmother. She, apparently she made onion syrup and made all the kids drink it. I'm going to put in my 2 cups of onions, and then I'm going to put in right around a cup of water and just get these things cooking. Just get them cooking, and we're going to just cook them on high or whatever works until they're soft and translucent and, not all the way cooked, but pretty well cooked. And then after you get your onions cooked down, then you add your garlic. right? So after that, I'm going to add a clove of minced garlic. Now maybe you like more garlic. You could add a second clove to this, but we're gonna add, after the onions cook down, we're gonna add this garlic and cook the garlic in. And then we're gonna add our fat, all right? Then we'll add our fat, and then we're gonna add our spices. And where'd my curry blend go? So this recipe that I'm giving you actually calls for 1/4 cup of the curry spices. I actually add almost a quarter cup of spices to this recipe. You could do maybe, you know, 1/8 a cup, anything between 1/8 a cup to 1/4 cup of your curry spices that you're gonna add to these onions, and then you're gonna cook it all together until it's just right, just how you like your onions. So we have our onions cooking here. I'm gonna let these cook for a little bit and I'll be right back. I've got all the water cooked off, right? So got let's move this and go here. So all the water is cooked off the onions. So I'm ready to add my garlic, right? And then I'm gonna add my fat. And so we're gonna put in the ghee. And then I am gonna put in my 1/4 cup of spices. Yeah. I'll put it back on the fire and I'm just gonna cook these spices. And I'm getting a major healing, a major decongestant, antiseptic, expectorant healing just right here. And so now it's really, I mean, this is like personal preference from here, how much fat you put in, how long you cook it, like how mushy you like your onions. And so we are gonna just cook this up, get the spice, and put this back on the heat. And that's gonna cook for probably another 5 minutes to get everything all mixed together. But of course, I have some already made for you. And here you go. Yeah, so you know that is medicine. Now, what do you do with this? Well, one thing that you can do with it is you can eat it. Yep, I like to eat it. So you can just put like, yeah, maybe that much. And you can just, you know, get your spoon and just sit down. This isn't something that you eat on the go and then go somewhere. This is like food that you sit down. And you know that after you eat this, you are going to be sweating, you're going to be peeing, and your body is going to work. So again, like take a break, take a rest. You know, again, one of the greatest healers is rest. What you can do is you can take this and start a soup stock. Just put it in the bottom of a pan, put 2 cups of water and let it cook a little bit and eat it like a broth. Or you can put this with your rice or any grain. You can have this be the start of a vegetable stir fry, or you can create your meal, make your meal, and then use this like a topping. Just put a couple tablespoons on top of something. Again, this is intense food. You can see it, right? Look at this. Look at that color. Look at all those antioxidant, antiseptic, antibacterial, carminative, decongesting spices, and plus the onions together. The bacteria, it doesn't have a chance. So again, this is an onset food. If you're already like totally sick and down and out and weak, and you know, it's not the time to like bust out a sweat, then this is an onset of colds to get the snot out, get the body moving everything to the edges, and before it starts, right? If you already feel it coming on, you can take it, but it's not for after you've been super sick. After you're super sick, it's not the time to stir everything up. And you want it's more of a resting time, right? I hope that this remedy, that it comes through for you. And it was my pleasure giving it to you, and may it spread, and like just the culture that we're creating of really bringing health and wellness back to our food, bringing healing back to our food and how we eat in the kitchen culture that we live by.